Education Reform in Shah Faisal Colony, Karachi. Chapter 1. The Pakistani Education System. The Pakistani education system has two streams: government schools and private schools. Government schools have strict, although crammed, design requirements. The Pakistani Engineering Congress has a list of standards to follow for government elementary schools. Going through this document, it becomes evident why the government schools have been planned and constructed the way they have. Classroom typologies create crammed conditions with 50 to 100 students per class. Additionally, it gives each teacher the responsibility to handle 2 classes at a time. Outdoor space is not considered a requirement, and the document states that the students can use the area around the school, not considering that a lot of government schools are placed in busy or unsafe areas. The design standards for government schools are not created to provide children with quality education and experiences. Private schools, on the other hand, vary greatly depending on the area in which they're located. Part 2. A case study of 2 schools, one private and one public. Aitchison College began construction in 1886 at the height of the British Raj's power. Named after the governor of Punjab, Sir Charles Aitchison, its initial purpose was to educate the relatives of ruling chiefs and princes in Punjab. It was an exclusive school for the elite. The college flaunts grand Indo-Saracenic architecture, mixing neo-Gothic and local elements with great amounts of motifs and ornamentation. The building includes amenities such as a library, theater, speech room, and classrooms. They also offer sports like cricket, polo, and field hockey. The college educates 3,000 boys from grades 1 to 13 with about 20 in each class. Aitchison gives each student 2,904 square feet of space. The school is now a symbol of prestige and colonial contribution to Punjab. The Anjuman Mufad Niswan Government School is located in Shah Faisal Colony and was constructed in 2009. Its initial purpose was to educate children from low-income families. The school educates 800 kids from grades 1 to 13 with about 50 in each class. This school gives each student around 4 square feet of space. Like most government schools, it has limited amenities. Power outages are common, and there are not enough desks and chairs for the students. It's a generic 2-story building that lacks architectural identity. Aitchison College flaunts a 200-acre campus, which is a significant chunk of the Shah Faisal Colony. The tuition for Aitchison College is 61,300 rupees a month, or $293 Canadian dollars, while the average household monthly income for Pakistan is 41,545 rupees, or $198 Canadian dollars.
Government schools are supposed to be free, but in practice they're not. There are costs associated with exam fees, with uniforms, and with supplies.
Chapter 3. Education in Shah Faisal Colony. Shah Faisal Colony, where Anjuman Mufad Niswan is located, is a town in Karachi with a population of 520,830 people. Out of the 200,000 school-going age kids in the city, 50,000 are not in school. There's a variety of reasons for this. Most often, private schools are unaffordable for these families, and government schools have horrible public image, so many families decide it's a better option for the child to begin working. Average monthly household income in this area is around 200 Canadian dollars a month. When doing site analysis, I noticed how many private schools are quite small and just built inside or on top of houses. Creating schools is seen as a business, rather than a way to provide children with education. Schools are placed right next to each other to compete and often have brands and franchises in different cities. The average tuition for one of these small private schools is 25 Canadian dollars a month, and on top of that, there's cost for supplies and uniforms. Especially considering the average family here has 4 children, sending each child to a private school would mean giving up half their monthly income. This is in contrast to government schools, which are larger and have courtyards. However, people still choose to pay and send their kids to these small private schools. Although government schools are larger, teachers are not held to standards, often do not show up, they do not have quality resources or education, and their public image is very poor. After COVID, 4 of the 13 government schools in this area did not reopen due to lack of demand, resources, and their image. Chapter 4. Why this is urgent, and implications on the government school system. Lack of education is a significant problem in Pakistan. The architecture and conditions of the lower income schools are vastly different to the higher class.
There are 63,000 schools in Punjab, government schools. More than 45,000 schools, they have no basic facilities there. Like, there is no washroom, there are no proper classrooms, no electricity, no water, no sanitation, nothing. More than 45,000. And it is estimated that more than 100 billion rupees is required to upgrade these schools.
Around 48% of schools in Pakistan do not have toilets, boundary walls, electricity, and drinking water. Government schools offer low-quality education, and 40% of girls and 50% of boys will drop out of school by the 3rd grade. There are 24 million children out of school in Pakistan.
You must retain a basic minimum standard so you allow for equality of opportunity. You should not have a situation where somebody who goes into the public sector stream is then doomed to certain kinds of jobs, a certain level of income, will never be able to get past that glass ceiling.
Chapter 5. The Design. Seeing as private schools create grand campuses, I realized education does not have to happen in a contained building. Instead, the places that young people live, work, and play have profound impacts on their lived experiences and subjectivities. Learning is only enhanced when students are exposed and given autonomy to interact with their surroundings, especially in a city. A series of site-specific interventions throughout the site, however small, can lend to creating effective learning spaces throughout the city. I use specific instances in my site to create a block that is inviting to students and the public alike. This was done through a variety of steps: the street, moments for pause, vacant storefronts, edible schoolyard and green space, and resources for the city.